And good morning, I'm Dan DeRose. It is Thursday, and that means it's time for Cuyahoga's Most Wanted. Every week we feature 3 fugitives who are out there on our street right now when they need to be in front of a judge. Innocent until proven guilty, but when you're facing serious charges like rape and gross sexual imposition all the way up to murder, you need to be in a courtroom, not on our streets in our community. Let's welcome in, as we do every week, Detective Red Dyer. Detective, how are you today? It's good to have you back.
Thank you, Dan. Just trying to keep dry.
Yeah, a little wet out there today. That'll happen. In every life, a little rain must fall. Detective, let's remind our viewers, we hope that this isn't the first time they're seeing Cuyahoga's Most Wanted, but if it is, why do we partner up? Why does Channel 19 work with Crime Stoppers of Cuyahoga County and the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department?
Well, Dan, for our new viewers, we at the Sheriff's Department and Crime Stoppers recognize the value in the eyes and ears of our community, the information that they can provide. We know that this program works, Dan. We've seen these numbers. You talk about them very often. We recognize that the community has valuable information that can help close these cases, get justice for these victims, as well as helping them remain anonymous, and it opens up the potential for a reward, which we'll get into a little later.
Yeah, and we talk about the victims and how important this is for somebody that think about the fear you have to live in if you've been a victim of one of these serious crimes and you know that person is still out there on the run. You would feel a lot more comfortable, and our community would be a lot safer if they were locked up waiting for a court hearing. Detective, without wasting any more time, let's get to our first case, and this is one of those cases that does hit that serious factor because it involves a crime against a child. What do we know about Jerome Wagner?
Well, Dan, as you stated, this is very serious. Mr. Wagner, in March of this year, it's alleged he performed an obscene sexual act on a victim at a residence, and that victim was a juvenile under the age of 15. Very strangely, he then discharged a firearm into the air as he fled the scene. He actually has a criminal history dating back to 1979, Dan, to include attempted murder, aggravated robbery, aggravated burglary, theft, forgery, and rape. In fact, reports in the rape case indicate that the victim was under 8 years of age. He was convicted on that and served 9 years at a correctional institution. He's approximately 5'11" and 185 pounds and was last known to be staying in the 600 block of East 107th Street in the city of Cleveland.
It just makes your stomach turn to hear, even though this is an alleged case, his previous conviction is for the rape of a child. It makes you wonder, why is this individual on our street? And we need to get him locked up to face these next set of charges. Let's get to our second case here. Christopher Morris Jr. What do we know?
Well, Dan, there's a lot to unpack here. Christopher Morris Jr. actually has 2 warrants with the Sheriff's Department. In December of 2022, he actually pled guilty to aggravated assault and domestic violence. And according to reports, in September of 2020, he flipped furniture and punched holes in the walls. He then grabbed and pushed the victim, making them fall down the stairs. So we're talking about a very dangerous situation. He then made punching motions towards the pregnant victim's stomach. Then, in November of 2020, he punched the pregnant victim in the head several times and strangled them. He failed to appear for a probation violation hearing, and warrants were issued for his arrest. He actually also has warrants with Westlake for failure to control and expired plates, Richmond Heights for a probation violation, and Lakewood Police for failure to appear. He's 6 foot tall and 146 pounds and was last known to be staying in the 600 block of East 160th Street in the city of Cleveland.
Wanted by multiple jurisdictions. Think about what you could do for those other communities if we get him off the street. We're going to take a quick break and come back for our third and final case, which involves a pink handgun. So give us just 60 seconds. And welcome back to Cuyahoga's Most Wanted. Enough time to fit in our third fugitive for the week. Detective Red Dyer, let's get to the case of Diamond Jones. What do we know?
Well, Dan, according to reports in May of 2023, Diamond Jones is alleged to have pointed a pink handgun at two separate victims and fired at them. So we're talking about a very serious, very dangerous situation when you're just firing a gun off. She failed to appear for trial and a warrant was issued for her arrest. She's 5'5" and 210 pounds and was last known to be staying in the 14,000 block of Lisa Drive in the city of Maple Heights.
Detective, let's start talking about how people can make this phone call to Crime Stoppers. It's an anonymous call. Why should people feel comfortable? Most people don't want to get involved. They say, hey, I don't want my name to end up on a piece of paper that fugitive ends up getting to see that I'm the one who called in. That's not going to happen here. Walk us through the process of calling Crime Stoppers.
Well, Dan, for our new viewers, when you call Crime Stoppers, we don't have caller ID, we don't record the phone calls, take down your name or any other personal identifying information. In fact, all contact you have through us is referenced to an anonymous tip number that we provide to you when you call us, so your information is never exchanged.
And it's very important that people feel comfortable that way. 216-252-7463 is the number. If you need a way to remember it, it's 216-25-CRIME. Spells out the word crime there. Detective, it is so important that we clean up our streets, but money can be a big motivator. We say it every week. What do you like to remind people about reward money of up to $5,000?
We like them to know that crime doesn't pay, but Crime Stoppers does.
Crime Stoppers does pay for reward information that leads to an arrest. You call in, you leave your information. They're going to give you a tracking number. You call back in 45 days. You see if you give them your tracking number and see if it was your tip that led to that arrest. Detective, another week in the books. Let's go get them.
It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Red. That's going to wrap it up for Crime Stoppers for Cuyahoga's Most Wanted, working with Crime Stoppers every week. It has been a tough week for law enforcement here in Northeast Ohio. We recognize that, and it's time for people to get involved and help our law enforcement. If we have any other breaking news, it'll be right here on our digital platforms. Our 11 o'clock news, just about 20 minutes away on Cleveland's 43, then our noon news on Channel 19. I'm Dan DeRose with 19, and this has been Cuyahoga's Most Wanted.